And welcome back to the special edition of Hannity. We're live in Centennial Park in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And we are here celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Fox News Channel with a very special Great American panel. He is the author of the brand new book, Always a Bulldog. He has his own show on CBS, on the CBS Sports Network. Mr. College Football, Tony Barnhart is here.
Thank you, sir.
Also with us, a Democratic strategist, Fox News contributor Joe Trippi is here as well. This is a tough crowd, Joe.
Thank you.
And the author of the book, Bullets and Blood, chairman of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, the one and only Atlanta's own Ralph Reed joins us. Thank you all. All right, let's start with the announcement. Looks like the field is set for the Republicans. Governor Palin announced she's not going to run. Chris Christie, he's not going to run. What do you think of the field as it's set?
I think it was a good week for Mitt Romney. I mean, when Chris Christie didn't get in, and all of a sudden Rick Perry looks like his star is starting to burn out a little bit, I think we take him, you take Herman Cain. I'm with Neil Boris. I think Herman Cain is a wonderful story, and we still got a lot of work to do.
Okay, and so when you see these new polls, I mean, there's been a lot of up and down here for a lot of candidates. Michelle Bachmann Perry, Herman Cain now is rising, Newt's coming up behind him, Romney's stayed steady at the top. Does that tell you anything?
I think it just tells me that this thing is still very, very fluid. Sean, it's still early. There's a lot that's going to happen, but right now, I think it's Mitt Romney and Herman Cain. I really do.
What do you think, Joe?
I think Romney, it's a question of whether they're going to settle for Romney or does Newt have a shot. I think Newt's the one to watch in the field right now. I think if there's somebody who's going to catch Romney, it's going to be somehow Newt turns this thing around.
Why is Newt, in your mind, the one to watch?
Because I think he's actually thought more about running for president and more about what he wants to do, and is talking pretty bluntly about it with a real plan to do it. That he's got baggage, and that's something that I don't know whether people are going to look past.
In fairness, though, doesn't every candidate have the annoying question? Like I've asked Mitt Romney 30 times about Romney Care. I've asked Governor Perry about immigration and the HPV vaccine. You know, Newt Gingrich has been out of the public eye, but when he's on stage, you realize this is a pretty smart man.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at, I think he's done well in the debates. I think he's done very well. And the only thing holding him back is that feeling that he's from the past or something, when he's really talking more about the future.
Does it hurt Herman? Now, look, he's worked for Coke here in Atlanta. He's worked for Pillsbury. He's worked for Burger King. He's the CEO of Godfather. Does it hurt or help him that he's never had political experience?
I think it helps him.
Help?
I think it helps him.
What do you think, Ralph?
Look, I think it's the most wide-open fight for a Republican nomination in my career. I mean, when you look at all the movement, you know, Trump had his day in the sun.
That's
Bachmann got in.
Yeah.
You know, Perry got in like a whale in a bathtub and then immediately dropped.
Can he come back?
I think he can. I don't count him out. He's won 5 statewide elections in the second largest state in America, and he just put up $18 million.
It's a lot of money.
And you just don't count a guy like that out. But I will just tell you this, Sean. This will be my 9th presidential campaign, either as an operative or somebody at an organization like I am now at Faith and Freedom Coalition. And I think the one thing you got to remember is this is a long, bloody slog, even with the truncated calendar. You're going to need $50 to $100 million. You're going to have an organization in 35 states. You got to have a national finance team, and you got to lay out clear, memorable, compelling positions on all the key issues. That's a high bar to clear, and that's why in the end it's going to end up, in my opinion, being Romney and somebody else. And then when you combine that with the calendar truncating, you know, you roll out of bed the next morning, you're going to be somewhere else in 5 days.
We got a break. Rubio says he wouldn't accept VP. Do you believe him? Yes or no?
No, I think Rubio is an excellent candidate for VP because he does a lot of things in the state of Florida.
No way he turned it down?
No way he means that. If it's offered to him,
no, I think he means it now, but I think, what do you think?
He'll take it.
He clearly means it. The question is, will there be enormous pressure
for him to get in?
It comes on him for him to take it. I personally think he'll turn it down.
You do?
I do.
Okay, interesting. We got to take a... By the way, if I was John Edwards, I'd be going like that. All right, just kidding. We'll have more with our great American... That was nothing to do with you, Joe. Our great American panel right after the break. And we continue now with... What a great crowd. With our great American panel. We're live in Atlanta tonight. By the way, Ralph Reed's book is Ballots and Blood. It's a novel, by the way. And I'm in it, I think. Honest mistake, Ralph. Sorry. All right. We got the protesters down in Wall Street. Now, Herman Cain did say something interesting. He went on to talk about the people down there. He said, you know what? This is the Democrats here want this to happen because what it's doing here is a big distraction for the Obama economy and failed policies. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think it takes everybody's eye off the ball. And the fact that, listen, the people I talk to, look, I don't live in the political world. I live in the sports world, and I talk to real people every day, and they say they are sitting on the sidelines holding on to their capital. We got like $2.5 trillion in cash that businesses are sitting on waiting because they don't know about taxes, they don't know about health care, they don't know about regulation. People want people to fix stuff, and the stuff on Wall Street is an absolute distraction.
A lot of those people down there are just as upset at Obama as they were at Bush for bailing out Wall Street, bailing out these banks. No one's helped the American people. I mean,
as a liberal, are you upset with Obama?
On a lot of the Wall Street stuff, yeah, absolutely.
No. I mean, generally, no.
Yeah, on the Wall Street stuff.
On the Wall Street, but the president's out there defending him today. But I mean, generally speaking, has Obama, as a Democrat that you helped elect, are you disappointed in him? Has he done a good?
There are a lot of people like me on the left who are disappointed. Don't think he's been hard enough on the banks, hard enough on Wall Street, bailed them out.
What grades would you give him as president?
What?
If you were going to give him a grade, what grade?
With what he got handed, the guy's done a pretty good job.
Listen,
this guy, yeah, George Bush, wait
a minute. Reagan, Ralph Reed, inherited a far worse economy than Obama.
And by the way,
Sean,
when you get the keys to the Oval Office, you don't sit around and whine about your predecessor. You're supposed to fix the problem. All right? Now, can I address the Wall Street protest?
Sure.
This can be summed up in 3 words. It's Tea Party envy. They've got a huge enthusiasm gap.
Actually,
they've got a huge enthusiasm gap. The youth vote is not going to turn out the way it did for him in 08 because they can't find jobs. They're disillusioned. His job approval among Hispanics is anemic. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to create their own Tea Party movement. And let me say something else. If anyone at a Tea Party movement had been chanting the kind of anti-Semitic slurs that have been going on at these protests, they would have been universally condemned. And I, for one, as an American, this is not a partisan statement. As an American, I was very disappointed that President Obama didn't go out of his way to condemn that today.
Real quick response.
No, the impulse in the Tea Party against elites in the Republican Party and the establishment is the same impulse that you're seeing on the left. In the Wall Street.
No, it's not.
It is the same.
I disagree, but I'll give you the last word.
Well, the bottom line is we've got to create jobs. You don't demonize Wall Street. You say, hey, help us out. Get back in the game. That's the problem. These people are not in the game.
All right. Guys, thanks for being with us on The Great American Pal.